Yo, what is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. So, I think it was about a week ago at this point. Obviously, we heard that Bjergsen may potentially, or is most likely, returning to professional play. And along with that news, we heard that he is potentially, or most likely, going to be testing the free agency waters, which instantly, I'm sure was a, kind of a perking up of the ears moment for every team in the entire world. Not every team in the world, but most teams in the world, a lot of teams in the world, most teams in the West specifically. And all of a sudden this has to change a lot of teams' offseason strategies. It has to change at least what the teams are thinking about for their possible options. We haven't really got any crazy new news or any crazy new breakthroughs, but there is one thing that happened recently that I thought was at least a little bit interesting that I wanted to talk about. Again, this isn't a super likely thing to happen. This isn't even necessarily a rumor, but it is possible, and I think it's at least an interesting thing to talk about, an interesting thing to discuss, and that is the potential or the possibility of Bjergsen going to 100 Thieves. So definitely drop a like on this video if you guys do enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. We're on that road to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I don't know, I was about to say end of the season, whatever, by the end of the year, and we can get there a little bit faster with your guys' help. And consider checking out my Patreon, patreon.com/IamGerm, to help support me, my channel, and my content. With that being said, let's get right into this. So the big thing of where this is all coming from, one, is just because I think every top team is going to at least, have the Bjergsen conversation, whether it's actually reaching out to Bjergsen and his team, or whether it's just internally being like, do we have the money for Bjergsen? Would he even make sense on our roster? Is there any chance we should even go after him? Whether that answers yes or no, that conversation is at least going to happen on all the top teams in Europe and North America, some of the middling teams in North America, some of the middling teams in Europe, probably the low down teams as well, even though, I don't think Bjergsen is going to a low team. I think he's going to be on a team that, by adding him, is immediately in the conversation for domestic titles, either in Europe or North America at the least, and at the most, international success, which is ultimately, I'm sure, what he wants to go for. So what we're taking a look is LEC Ditto. This is an account that, if you see here, it's actually a really funny, interesting account. It just has a bunch of players and people and teams in the esports scene, and it shows who people are following, who people are unfollowing, and it's just another way to potentially track the offseason. Now, at the end of the day, do Twitter followers really mean that much? No, but they can tell us a story every once in a while. Just a couple of weeks ago, I covered a story where G2 Nelson and a couple of members from G2 were starting to follow Broken Blade, and then a week or two later, it's looking like G2 and Broken Blade have a verbal agreement in place. Now, did those Twitter follows necessarily have anything to do with that? No, and I'm sure, did other people follow Broken Blade and Broken Blade follow other people at that point? Yes. But there is something to it. It at least means, oh, maybe these people just recently met. Maybe they're having some conversations going on behind the scene. Maybe, they're trying to send little subliminal messages that, hey, we're interested in you, or you're interested in us, or hey, we'd like to talk. Or maybe it's them following so they can, get in their DMs or something like that. There's a lot that goes into it. I just need to preface this by saying, do not read too much into it. But I did think this account is at least interesting. Maybe it's something you want to check out. Maybe it's something you want to follow. But, regardless, whatever you think about it, some people are going to think this is very stupid. Some people are going to think it's at least a little bit interesting. I'm more in that camp. I get that there's not, don't read too much into things, but the interesting part here is that Bjergsen recently followed 100 Thieves on Twitter. Now, it's not like 100 Thieves is a new team. It's not like they're a new brand. It's not like they're a new org. They've been around the block. They've been active on social medias. Why would Bjergsen have not been following them previously? I don't know, but it at least, this got a decent amount of likes, 82 likes on an account that, tweets all the time, and it's not going to get great engagement on any tweets, and most people don't even know exists. So I thought this was at least interesting and worth talking about. Now, obviously, a lot of people are going to be like, okay, 100 Thieves just won an LCS title. They just got Abadage. Are they even going to be interested in Bjergsen? Would Bjergsen even go to them? And I honestly think that in some ways this might make a little bit of sense. Now, obviously, Abadage came over and was very good for them, and he won a title in his first play with the team, and now they're going to Worlds as a 1 seed, but we'll see how that goes. The last number 1 seed to come out of North America as kind of a dark horse title winner ended up going 0-6 at Worlds. Obviously, that was 2020 TSM with Bjergsen at the helm, so we will see how this team does at Worlds, and if they kind of fall flat at Worlds, which I don't know, I think most people at least expect expect because NA has not even made it out of groups in the last 2 or 3 years at Worlds. So why would this 100 Thieves team be different? That wasn't even like dominant in the regular season or anything, and people didn't really have high hopes for going into the playoffs. It's not like all of a sudden people are just going to have crazy expectations for them. We'll see. Obviously, it's going to depend on how the groups go, how they end up playing. Closer's been a beast. Is he going to keep that up internationally? Is Abadage going to keep it up? Can FBI step up? Can Someday step up? I don't know. But I think this move would make a ton of sense for a lot of reasons. One, I think it'd be an upgrade on the Rift. I don't think it's a stretch to say that Bjergsen, maybe, obviously there's some questions since he just took some time off, but 2020 Bjergsen is better than 2021 Abadage. So headed into 2022, I would see it as a clear upgrade, and it could make this team better. There's 100 Thieves in a weird spot where I think they're a good but not a great team, and they have a good but not really like amazing player at a ton of their positions. Like Someday has been okay. Closer was very good in the playoffs. Can he do that at Worlds? Abadage's been good. Is he going to be great internationally? I don't know. FBI's been good. We'll see how he does. And He is a fine support, but is he amazing? I don't know. So 100 Thieves is going to have to make some very, very tough decisions. They're going to have to shake up their roster a little bit if their goal is to not just win an LCS title, but then go to Worlds and actually do something. So in that regard, I think Bjergsen would be a very, very good upgrade for this team. Abadage has been solid in Europe. He's been good in North America. He was never the best mid laner in Europe, and I don't think he's going to go to Worlds and have that crazy performance. I think Bjergsen would be a step up for him there. Then also, we know 100 Thieves is so much about their brand, trying to grow their fan base, trying to grow as big as they can. And right now, there's not very many people bigger in the League of Legends scene than Bjergsen. Even after taking a year off, we see him coming back and putting up 20K viewer streams. Obviously, some of that is the hype and surprise of Bjergsen returning, but it still shows that he is a massive content creator. He has over 1 million followers on Twitter, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, everywhere. He's just absolutely popping off. He's going to bring a ton of new LCS viewership coming, and I think he could really help 100 Thieves continue to grow that brand, continue to sell that merch, continue to do a ton of things that 100 Thieves wants to do. And 100 Thieves also offers Bjergsen an interesting opportunity to actually grow his brand and everything more. Now, obviously, Bjergsen with TSM has already grown to an insane state. One of the biggest faces, brands, whatever, in esports in the world. And, I don't really think any of the European teams, I don't think are going to help him grow that much. Maybe G2, but he's not even rumored to be going to G2. If he ends up on like Vitality or Fnatic or whatever, could they help him out a little bit? Maybe, but, those teams aren't really doing something that, TSM isn't doing. But 100 Thieves is actually growing and reaching a lot of audiences that other esports teams aren't getting to. And, with the merch and how they are really appeal to this young, hip audience, and they're bringing in all these new fans and everything. 100 Thieves is looking to, crack into that top 3 fan bases in the LCS, the kind of the legacy orgs. And Bjergsen could be potentially looking to grow his brand as well. And 100 Thieves offers him a good team on the Rift, a good coaching staff with Reaper, a respected team with Papa Smithy, a team that just won the LCS title who could, take a big step up with Bjergsen in the mid lane, and a brand and a franchise that are actually on the come up, that are actually doing big things in terms of, content creation and play on the Rift, not only in League of Legends, but in other esports as well. It could be a very, very interesting opportunity for Bjergsen. Who knows how good of an offer in terms of money they could put together? Would they be willing to throw Bjergsen any ownership? I don't know, but I think this actually would make a ton of sense for a lot of different reasons. Now, I don't think it's the best place Bjergsen could go. I think TSM is still very interesting. I think Fnatic is an interesting option. I still think Team Liquid is even an interesting option that could all maybe have better teams on the Rift at the end of the day than 100 Thieves. But I think 100 Thieves is doing a lot of stuff right, and I think could be a very, very attractive destination. I think they're kind of flying under the radar for a lot of people right now, and it wouldn't surprise me if, the rumors and the talks at least start heating up. Again, at the end of the day, I think Bjergsen will return to TSM, but I think 100 Thieves deserves, a lot more credit for a lot of things they're doing in the scene right now, and I could see a ton of reasons why they would be a very, very attractive landing spot for Bjergsen headed into 2022, and I think people, need to give a little bit more respect to that. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Do you think Bjergsen to 100 Thieves would be a good decision? Would it be a good move? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!